Hello, and thank you so much for joining and for your interest in cultivating inner and outer nutritional wisdom. My name is Karen Mastriani. I'm with a company called Dimensions in Occupational Health and Safety. I've been in the wellness and occ health industry since the mid-1980s. And so I came up to this program through many layers. And I will tell you that I feel like I've come home. I feel like this program melds my interest in well-being, my interest in overall sense of wellness, and what I have learned about dieting and the diet industry. So I appreciate your interest, and I am happy to take any questions after you've had a chance to watch this. I'll give my telephone number and my email address at the end. So this initiative is a program to help us stop the diet cycle. I say just to help us get off that treadmill, that merry-go-round, hopefully for good. And I know that many of you have dieted before, maybe not, maybe you're just interested in nutritional information, but I will tell you that the statistics for the number of adults dieting at any one time is pretty staggering. But even more staggering and more shocking is the number that will be successful at not just losing weight. All of us lose weight through different mechanisms, but at keeping it off. And statistically, it's about a 95% failure rate. A little under 5% of people will keep their weight off for more than 3-6 months, and pretty much after a year or so, all have not only gained the weight back, but many gained more of the weight back that they lost. So with all the programs that are out there, with all the gimmicks that we all try, if you're like me, you've tried the same one more than once thinking, well, it worked, I lost weight, and if I had willpower, if I was stronger, if I wouldn't have gone off that diet, I would have kept the weight off. You know, we blame ourselves. We never question this $33 billion industry. Now, I'm not saying the industry's out to manipulate us. I mean, but they know what the success rate is, and they know we're going to come back over and over again and spend the money. If they focused on making sure that people lost weight and kept it off, they would have moved on to another $33 billion industry that we could that we could spend our money on. And so with this massive failure rate, and then we blame ourselves on top of it. So the results are actually pretty shocking at the harm that it causes to us as individuals. And I just want you to think that if diet programs had to stand up to the same scrutiny that medications did, the pharmaceutical industries go through, they would never be allowed on the market. They would never be allowed for public consumption. So imagine taking asthma medicine. You have trouble breathing, you have, you know, your lung function is compromised, and you take this pill and you feel great for a couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden, maybe gradually, maybe not so gradually, your breathing gets worse. Your lung function deteriorates. We wouldn't tolerate it, you know? And in fact, it's gotten so serious that a group of wellness professionals actually had developed a code of ethics saying that, and part of the code of ethics related to weight loss programs, that they should come with a warning and a waiver, that people should read that 95% of you aren't going to succeed, 5% of you will keep the weight off. And let me just say that 5%, only the people that finish the wellness program. Most people drop out before they even lost any significant amount of weight. So the 5% is high. It's giving the benefit of the doubt. And so you would read all this. What the harmful consequences could be: that you might gain more weight. You're going to gain that weight as percentage of body fat. And then you would sign And certainly, many would still decide to go on that diet, but at least you're going in with your eyes open, and it might lessen the self-blame. In 2007, UCLA looked at this issue, and they did a study on what do diet programs predict, and they looked at all, every diet program that was out there and trying to find, what's the predictive factors. And when they concluded, they said that the only prediction, the dieting was a predictor of weight gain. That was the only thing they could say with conclusivity, based on all the diets that are out there. But I told you I'm in the health profession. My undergrad's in nursing. I've been in the wellness field since the mid '80s, and it's my passion. And I thought, I always struggled with losing weight, and weight loss is an important part of physical health. That's what I thought. So I applied for 2 jobs early in my career. The first job I applied for was a very well-known program, not WW as it's called now, but another very well-known program. And the interviewer kept saying to me over and over again, "We're so good that people keep coming back to us." And she'd say it in different ways. They know that our program works, so they come back to us over and over again. We're so successful that many of our clients are the same. And she kept saying that. And at the end, when I could ask her questions, I asked her, why would people need to come back if you were that successful? And she honestly, I don't think it could penetrate. She couldn't even understand my question. All she could say was, "Oh yeah, that's because we're so successful. That's why they come back." And then after moving to North Carolina in the late '80s, I applied to a residential center. I don't know if they're still open or not. Very famous. People come from all over the world, and same thing, they come more than once, and the person, every interview question was how I would handle angry outbursts, really upset people, really aggressive people. What would I do in this situation, in that situation? And when I asked her why, like if they are paying thousands of dollars, why don't they feel good about this decision they've made? Why aren't they excited and feel renewed? And the only thing she could say was that, well, they're angry and they're upset, that it's come to this point. And I get that, but what she didn't get and the program didn't get is that they're a major contributor to those issues. And so really, what I've learned is that dieting consumes a lot of time and energy, and it goes against our very human nature, our very biology. Not being successful has nothing to do with not having willpower, motivation, not being strong enough, nothing at all. It doesn't have anything to do with knowledge. We all have lots of knowledge about what to eat and what not to eat, and weight loss programs. So the biggest caveat is losing weight and keeping it off is not a knowledge issue. It really is kind of a mindset and letting go kind of issue, which is what cultivating inner and outer wisdom does. It's like one of those Chinese finger puzzles. You put your fingers in the web, the harder you try to pull, the more stuck you are. And it's just relaxing and letting go that usually works. The mere contemplation of going on a diet brings about urges and cravings, right? As soon as I say I'm going to go on a diet, this was in the past, I'd gain weight, and I would finish all the potato chips or all the ice cream thinking I might not get this for a while. So we just kind of set ourselves up for that whole failure scenario. And the thing is your body thinks you're starving it when you go on a diet. And so it decreases your metabolism, your energy level goes down. Dieting triggers your body to become more efficient at utilizing calories. And the more diets we go on, like the second, third one, man, your body's ready. It's an efficient machine to make sure it shuts down your metabolism and it saves every calorie it can, because it thinks you're starving it. And so with each successive time, it slows the rate of weight loss because your metabolism actually comes down. So with every attempt to go on a diet, metabolism goes down quicker. And the thing is as soon as you say you're going on a diet, it means you're going off of that diet. And I can predict with, unfortunately, 100% accuracy when somebody's going to gain all their weight back. And I haven't been wrong yet. Because we're going on a diet for whatever reason we're going on it. And then the person's going to go off and start eating like they want to eat, like they would normally eat. And your body sees dieting as a stressor. So just like other physical stresses, lots of harmful things, including cortisol, is released, surging through our bloodstream. And cortisol, it's a double whammy because it's going to store more fat, especially around our midsections. And so that works against us as well. And I could go on, but let me just tell you, it's time to unleash the shackles and what works with in cultivating inner and outer nutritional wisdom. And it's based on research in the 1990s. Duke University was one of the universities involved. And it was called MBEATS. It still is, mindfulness-based eating awareness training. And cultivating inner and outer wisdom is based on that program. It's a certification course that I attended and went through. And it's 10 weekly sessions and then 2 follow-up sessions. Plus, I'm offering one-on-one coaching at least once during the session. And then you can email me at any time and I'll respond. You can call me during normal, hours before people are going to bed. And it really does totally reject the diet mentality. But it's not throwing the baby out with the bathwater or not throwing caution to the wind. Like not an anything goes attitude. Anyone been there? I have. You come off a diet and you say, well, that's it. I'm not successful. And you eat whatever you want, probably more than any of us should. So I call this the middle way. It's not a dieting program. There are no restrictions. There are no weight loss goals. Yet it's not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It truly is the middle way. And what they found with this program, based on this overall sense of well-being, enhancing our well-being, meditation, and coming in tune with your inner wisdom that we all have innately, that people actually do lose weight, do feel better, and don't gain it back because there's no restrictions to go on something or off or start overeating. And it's a process and a journey. It's different for all of us. But we have to change our whole paradigm of thinking. We have to reject the diet mentality so that that we can ensure we can develop this healthy relationship with food. We can nurture our bodies. And so the 2 main components are this inner wisdom, where we are going to get back to what we knew as children. We're going to get back to knowing our satiety level, getting pleasure from food, knowing when we've had enough and we stop eating, and just honoring what we intuitively knew and we lost. And then it's also outer nutritional wisdom. We have a lot of outer stuff to deal with. We're constantly bombarded with commercials. There's fast food and convenience stores on every corner. We have all this nutritional information out there. What do we want to follow? What do we believe? How are we going to ignore all these other cues that we've kind of listened to our whole life? So it's dealing with both the inner and the outer, and there's no one right way at all. This journey is quite different for each of us, but we will discover the satisfaction factor with food. We'll make peace with food. We'll give ourselves the freedom to eat unconditionally, eat as much as we need to satisfy our body, our minds, our souls. not necessarily eating whenever you feel like it without regard to hunger and fullness, but just to realize that satisfaction and that peaceful relationship with food. There is no challenge food police. We're gonna actually challenge that food police who chatters in the back of our minds. As soon as you think good or bad food, you end it. There might be green light foods and red light foods that we should have with caution, but there is no good or bad food. And it really requires creating a safe space for ourselves, for self-compassion and self-kindness. And so with the choices that we've made and that we're going to make in the future, this isn't about being perfect at all. None of us should even think that we're perfect. And it's cultivating a sense of well-being with emotions, with social eating. Many times when people are on a diet, they actually restrict their social they're any socializing, because if they go to a birthday party, they have to eat birthday cake, or they might overeat at a picnic. So we kind of release those inhibitions. So it just helps us to become more social, and it's really honoring our feelings of hunger and fullness. Actually, when I first did the program, even before I was certified, I thought I knew when I was hungry and when I was full, and I realized it's not until I'm starving or I'm stuffed that those signals trigger. We're so used to listening to outer triggers. We've eaten the number of points we should eat for the day, or the number of calories we should have eaten for the day. We have these external cues that we pay attention to, and we've kind of lost our internal cues, and so it's gaining those back. I use the analogy of starving alley cat versus finicky alley cat. A starving alley cat, when they find food, will eat until they're beyond full, because they don't know where their next meal is coming. That's kind of what dieting does to us on this psychological, unconscious level. Where a finicky cat, it'll wait until something better is going to come along, or they're not in the mood to eat. It'll be there later, and so they're a little bit more picky. And we want to be finicky cats. We're not going to starve. There will be more food. We can eat whatever we want. So we can afford to be a little picky, and in doing so, we'll gain that satisfaction, sense of nourishment, sense of trust, that intuitive guide to eating that we know, and it's there. And so that's the program in a nutshell. The 12 weeks total. It's based on meditation, and so we will do meditations during the class, and you will have 2 minutes of meditation to do every day. And it's a practice, right? If you don't like meditating, I hope that you will like it as you practice and go through this, but it's nothing woo-woo, it's nothing hard. It's just little short meditations, and then practicing this sense of mindfulness, really becoming really in tune with our own well-being. It's usually 10 consecutive sessions. Doesn't have to be, because life happens and there could be a holiday or whatever one of those weeks. And then the last 2 sessions are scheduled as we decide how far we want to go out with those last 2 sessions. And then the one-on-one sessions we schedule during the training. I'm offering a special that the 12 weeks is $300. I don't remember what that is. I think it's $25 a week. You can't compare it to a diet or weight loss program. It is a well-being program. And after this year, the price, will increase. I'll do it on a session just like this, except everybody has access. You will have your camera and your microphone, and it's completely interactive, discussion-based, even small group rooms that will be set up that people will pair off and do some discussions that way. That was a lot of information. I am happy to answer your questions. You can email me at Karen, Karen, M as in Mary, at dimensions nutritional-ohs.com. My phone number is 919-676-2877, extension 112. I look forward to your questions. If you are interested in registering, just please let me know, because I will be starting a new session soon. Thank you so much, and I look forward to meeting you hopefully in the near future. Have a great day.